How have you enjoyed that game so far, Ron? I was gonna bring this up in a little bit, but I'll let you get into it a little bit first. Yeah, because I was watching some stuff about it, reading some stuff about it, and I was gonna talk about it a little bit. 6 hours last night exploring Hogwarts. No, I mean, yeah, it sounds great, man. Petting cats. All right, that sounds amazing. Sounds great. Yeah, I recently was reading some articles with the developer and everything, and I was gonna talk about that. So many cats. Can you adopt the cats? That's all I would like. But yeah, I saw like just pat that one thing. Damn. Yeah, I saw like a small Q&A with the developers, and they were just kind of talking about some of their choices to be inclusive and everything, and they had like specifically brought up rolling, and the developers will not like specifically acknowledge her or use her name at all, which was pretty cool. I was like, all right, good. At least they're kind of like separating themselves from her at this point. Yeah, it's just strange. I know that they've like been very open about making sure that they're like being super inclusive and everything, you know, even down to some of the characters that are already in the game and everything. So I've definitely been falling more in the side of like, I mean, listen, if you hate the game, like that's whatever, but I feel like you shouldn't just you know, you gotta be, I feel like the developers seem like they're decent people, and that makes me feel better, but I don't think it makes me feel good enough to get into it, so I probably won't. One of our good friends, Kazoo King Plays. Hey, what's up, Hapless? What's up, Jade? Didn't exemplary. I'm like, why am I struggling on that? They look like they did. Kazoo, I saw was tweeting, and he was like replying to a tweet that somebody had already tweeted, and just pretty much said, "Fuck the wizard game." And I kind of was like, yeah, but I mean, not that's not the part that you should be mad at. So I replied, fuck the wizard lady. And I was like, yeah, be mad at like the lady, not the people who are actually being assholes. Like, these guys are being really great, like they're being awesome and trying to be really open. Like, if you don't like the game, again, don't play it, don't show it off, don't do anything. But I feel like they've gone out of their way to be like really open and inclusive and distance themselves. So I am really all about not punishing them just because you disagree with Rowling. And I posted a couple of things in the Discord about it, and I even posted like a little thing that was like a little spoilery, and I won't get into that, but I just kind of said a lot of that stuff. And I think Cyclo kind of was talking to me. He said, you know, definitely gives people a reason to feel better about the game, enough to buy it. And I was like, oh man, it kind of made me feel weird. Like, I don't want them to definitely feel like, you know, I don't want it to feel like they just put a lot of inclusivity and a lot of stuff just to drive sales and stuff. And I don't think that that's necessarily it, but definitely it's the waters are getting a lot more murky for me at this point, and I feel a little strange about it. I still don't want to get into it too much. And then I saw something just before stream as well. It's got to be a point where It's gotten to a point where it seems like mob mentality. Yeah, that's a big part of it too. What's up, Johnny? How are you doing? Welcome on in, man. And not love the author, right? And I think a lot of the things now people have been talking about is the fans have really taken that whole thing from her at this point. And I don't think she doesn't control it as much. I'm doing really good, Johnny. I am so glad to see you. How are you? Oh, I said, how there you go. Yeah, we are talking about it a little bit. And I just saw a thing where a couple of people were streaming it. I think they were streaming it. Yeah, they were streaming it because their chat was bullying them about playing it. And I was like, listen, if you don't want to watch it, you don't want to support it, just don't watch it. Like, don't bully people. Like, you're becoming just as bad as the person that you're despising. Super interesting, isn't it? It's weird. It's really strange for me, Johnny. W property, right? I mean, for sure, Ron. But it's also like I said, like the fans have really taken that and kind of made it their own thing. At this point, it's so different. Yeah, because you're like stooping to the same level that she is at that point, right? That's a good point too, Johnny. Not something I even completely thought of. You know what? Yeah, there's definitely some things that are struggles with games, and you know, you find your own line and everything, and I'm okay with that. Find your line, but I don't think bully other people, you know, just to get your point across. When the people that I saw who were actually I saw like the people who were playing it, they were getting bullied. Like they had gotten a free code for the game, so they never paid for it. All they were doing was playing it, you know. And I think that was interesting that people were like making a big deal about it. Yeah, you find your line and you find your way. But I think not supporting it is so much bigger than just being bullying for the sake of like, well, this is gonna get my point across. The internet has given voice to a lot of people who probably shouldn't have a voice. So yeah, and so the people who were also doing this, they were doing like a charity for like Trevor Project, and I was like, that's cool. It's a cool way to combat it if you're gonna do something like that. And then I saw people who were then tweeting about that. They were like, oh, you think that makes up for it? And I was like, oh my God, there's no way to win at certain points. So, I mean, whatever. But now, yeah, I think the game looks really good, Johnny. And I was saying, like, the developers seem like they put a lot of work into it. And they've been super open and super inclusive, and they've done so much to try and kind of distance themselves from Rowling at this point, and it doesn't seem to have mattered. So, but if you're willing to check it out, you know, like I said, I have no problem with people who would like to check it out. I don't think that's not the line I'm gonna draw. I think my line is I just won't probably play it myself. Yeah, the charity thing was cool. I thought it was great, but then people were a-holes about it. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was a big Harry Potter fan for a very long time, to the point where, oh shit, you can't even see it. Yeah, a little bit. That I end up getting a dark mark because I was like, oh, cool. And then, I mean, there's just been so much stuff that's happened, and I was like, it's made me really embarrassed to have it. Which is sad. You're a Death Eater. That's right. I mean, she technically has ruined a lot of their work, but hopefully not for very long. like Ron's saying, the sales and the pre-orders are doing well, and I think it's because people are genuinely excited, and it looks like it's genuinely pretty decent. And like I said, they've been really open and really inclusive, so hopefully that's the biggest part, where like it'll at least make people feel like, oh, if I want to play it for me, it's not as big a deal. I hope. Muscles? Nah, it ain't no muscles. Just some Death Eater things. Saw the movies. The movies weren't bad though, Johnny. Although it would be cool for them to do something bigger, like a show or something. But again, I think it's hard for them to do anything with that property at this point now. It's going to be real difficult. Yeah, please, Ron. I would love to see it, man. So yeah, I just knew I wanted to talk about it a little bit, because it's been a tough thing, especially for me, over the last couple of days. And it's definitely made me feel like strange a couple of different times. Just things I've seen from the devs that made me like, oh wow, I'm really proud of what they're doing, and then kind of then fearing the worst, and then seeing people kind of lash out at people who are, who've decided that that's what they would like to enjoy the game, and maybe they are able to kind of separate those things, and they're doing other things, and it just, man. But mostly it's just cats. I hope so. The toxicity can really, yeah, it really has, especially the stuff I was reading today about the other stuff with the streamers. That stuff just it makes me sad. It makes me sad that people can't just like I said, if you're not interested, just don't support it. If you don't want to, if you're the streamer that you like is playing it, don't check it out. I mean, listen, if they enjoy it, they can do whatever they want. Hey Casper, what's happening, man? But maybe they'll figure it out that they don't need to stream it, which is why I definitely will not. I will not put myself through that. I feel pretty good today, Casper. How are you, man? What are you getting into? You know what? That's true. That's very true, Johnny. I feel like that's kind of how I feel about it. Like if you don't want to support something, the best way to do is just ignore it. I mean, so many people also like take relish in just getting people fired up and angry about stuff, to the point where you can almost not trust people's motives about things. It just makes me feel so like cynical. I hate to have to feel that way too, that I have to feel cynical about everything. But yeah, if you don't care, about supporting, you don't believe in what's going on with it or whatever, just don't watch it. Don't do anything. Or have friends like Ron who ready to take the bullets for you. Yeah, I'm interested to see it, Ron. Thank you, man. I appreciate you taking those strays for me, my man. Atriox, what's happening, dude? How are you? How are you doing? I know you're at work, but outside of that, yeah, the trolls are everywhere. And no, you ain't no troll, Atriox. You don't get to be. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, he is. I know he loves it. I'll make your room a disco rave. I hope so, buddy. I got that right in there. Just for you.
Lurk.
Hey, thank you so much, Johnny. Thank you so much for coming and be part of the conversation with me. I really appreciate it, man. Just got to get all the points. Hey, that's what we were just talking about, Casper. Ron in the chat is been currently playing it for couple of hours, I think, at this point, and has really enjoyed it. I've seen really good things about it, but we were just kind of talking about the negativity and the toxicity that has come along with that at this point. So it's been a little sad. It's just, like I said, it's made me a little sad. Yeah. I think it's hard to get away from at this point because it's such a big game. You know, people are so excited about it and everything. It just, you're not going to get away from that right now. You know, everybody's going to hear about it in some way or some form. And then it's probably, you know, even the stuff I saw today about the one streamers and stuff getting harassed. I'm sure it's not the end of it. So I don't know, making me sad, especially if you like exploration. Yeah, I feel like that's the only reason I would want to play that, just is for the exploration part of it. I don't think I have much interest in the story or the some of the like combat and stuff. I wasn't really sure about how I felt about any of that, but the exploration would be cool. Combat was also good. That's pretty cool, dude. I'm actually surprised. I mean, a little bit, but not a lot of it. Some people want to watch the world burn and there's nothing to do about it. I mean, that's true. I mean, yeah, no. I feel like I feel like some people just want to have their voice heard about how much they hate it, so they're very outspoken. It ruins a lot of things, especially if you crank up the difficulty. In those instances, yeah, that's all I've wanted to. I mean, not even do that. I guess my whole thing has been just trying to be open to everything, listening, reading stuff whenever I can, you know, because I saw a lot of people who, you know, especially with the people who were getting bullied during their stream and stuff. Like, I saw a lot of people who were like coming up in defense for them, but I saw a lot of people kind of like dragging them as well. It definitely seems like I feel like it's one of those things that makes me like it like divides me in such weird ways that I've not ever had to be part of, just because I think I love the franchise and stuff, but it's been a weird one right now. You know, I know. Yeah, exactly, Ron. A lot of people don't have a lot to say, but they want to say it anyway. So yeah, I appreciate that, though. I do try to be open as much as I can, you know, and continuously kind of like hear out everything. I mean, part of it too is like there's sometimes I'll hear stuff and I'm like, oh man, I'm not sure about that. But I think the kind of that same thing people talk about is like you kind of have to for lack of a better way of putting it, is be in that mindset with people for a minute to kind of start to find where they're at and then find middle ground. And so yeah, I'm just trying to do that at some points, and it's tough. It's exhausting. Ugh. All right, guys, let's have some fun. Let's get off this intense topic, and let's play some Dead Space, a game that's not very controversial at all, I hope. I hope. We live in a society. I hear that in George's voice, man.